1 year ago today, I was admitted to a psychiatric hospital. I've talked about my bipolar before. I'm diagnosed with bipolar disorder, and I have psychotic features, which means when I'm very unwell, I see, hear and believe things that are not real or true, but at the time they are very, very real to me. So I didn't suddenly come down with bipolar one day. I've had mental health problems since I was a preteen. So the usual mood swings and PMS, blah blah blah, except also all of the problems with my brother. He was extremely unwell, and I grew up with him deteriorating. But I'm not going to go into my whole mental health story, but I think I was diagnosed with bipolar about 2 weeks into my admission. Until then I had been diagnosed when I was younger with PMDD, which is like severe PMS, and then cyclothymia by my paediatric psychiatrist. So whilst it developing into bipolar wasn't inevitable, it could have been prevented had I been treated accordingly. But with mental health services with children and young people, so I think anyone below the age of 25, they try and treat symptomatically. So as opposed to putting a label on something and giving you the appropriate pills that would say BNF, they would try and treat you bit by bit. So that's what they were doing with me, but it wasn't they didn't do a very good job. Anyway, on to the actual day last year, 11th of July. I hadn't been in work on Friday because I'd gone to A&E overnight on Thursday with Heather, because I had noticed my mood was getting too out of hand and I thought I might be hypomanic with the cyclothymia. So I'd noticed, first thing that I noticed that my mood wasn't right was the Tuesday, when I was just missing Josh so much, and that would make sense because it was coming up to his 1 year anniversary, which would be the following Saturday. This was just about 2 weeks before, and I was missing him so much. I was on the bus home. I've been talking to someone at work about Josh, and she lost her son, and we were just talking about grief. And I got on the bus and I just started sobbing. I just couldn't control it. So I'd asked Heather to meet me at anywhere, and she said she couldn't. And so I went to the grave myself, and just asked my parents to pick me up in 20 minutes, and they came and I was sobbing on the grave. And then on the Wednesday I suddenly got really angry at Heather that she wouldn't meet me. I don't know. I mean, I know the reasons why I thought I was angry with her, but it was beyond all proportion. We'd never even had I mean, we'd had misunderstandings, but never an argument or a bit of a bitch, nothing. So that was the first time ever that something had happened between me and Heather, and even when she was even when she'd apologised for nothing that she'd actually done, that still wasn't good with me. And then on the Thursday I was with my mum, and she said something, honestly I still think, yeah, that was a bit out of line for her to say, but I reacted extremely badly. I was so angry and I couldn't calm down, so I went to the bathroom. I was going to have a shower to try and cool off, and I just wasn't calming down. And then I was messaging Heather saying what was happening and saying how angry I was, and then I was like, wait, am I being disproportionately angry? So I asked her, and I asked another friend, Marie, and I asked someone else I know who has bipolar. And because at the moment at that time my diagnosis was cyclothymia, which is a subthreshold bipolar disorder. So instead of depression and mania, or depression and hypomania, you get mild depression called dysthymia, but it's persistent, and hypomania, which is undermania. So I thought it might be that. and I was wondering if I could go to A&E and just get like a PRN, which is, it means as and when, just like a shot of something to calm me down. I mean, I didn't know what I was wanting, I was not very well. So me and Heather had gone there on the advice of crisis team, who is there who you call if it's outside office hours. So we got home when the sun was rising. I think it was about 5:30 in the morning, and they said that I should go to they'd given me some tablets, and they said that I should go to my GP and get more the next day, so I did. And I tried to see the duty worker from the mental health team as well, because they said that I should get in contact with my team. And I made this doctor's appointment, an emergency appointment on my GP for half past 4? Half past 4, half past 3? I don't know, one of the two. And I'd finally got through to the duty worker. I'd been calling up like several times in the day. Heather had called, I think, as well, I'm not sure. And they'd said, finally got a phone call back from them, and they were like, oh, we don't really want to see you. And I explained that, well, I went to A&E and they said that I should see someone today. They said, well, we can speak to you, I can't guarantee it'll be the duty worker, might just be the receptionist. And no, before you ask, I haven't filed a complaint yet. We're not sure if we should or not. I mean, I know this was a year ago, but it's still, if that happened to someone who was, I mean, the way that my mental health team treated me then, the way the crisis team had treated me on the Monday actually led to my admission. Anyway, Friday they said, oh, we can't guarantee it'll be actually anyone who you could really confide in. Cracking. And they said, you got to come in at 4:30. We can't guarantee you'll be seen then, but you could be seen before 5:30. And I said, well, I've got a GP appointment at 4:30. They said, is 4:30 or not? So I said, well, not, because I know my GP will do something. You just said it, I might even not have anyone to talk to there. So I went to my GP. It's the first time I'd ever seen her looking like worried. And I can't remember how I was feeling, but I remember that she said I seemed agitated. That was manic. And my parents had gone away. They'd gone for a weekend away on the Friday. They were meant to be coming back on the Tuesday. On the Saturday, I didn't sleep on the Friday. I haven't been sleeping for a few weeks. But if you look at my insomnia video, I was quite used to occasionally going periods without sleep. I'd also not been eating properly either, not intentionally, but my appetite had been really off. So I pitched myself at 7 on the mood scale, bipolar mood scale, which you will find in link in the description. And I had done no sleep. I did something in the morning, I can't remember. And then I was teaching singing, and then I went straight from there to babysitting. And I took the kids to the park, and we were at the park for 4 hours, and I'd taken snacks and things in my bag. But we just like, time ran away with us, and I had like so much energy, which is not like me at all. I mean, I do get hyper, but like, I mean, not really since I was about 15. But yeah, running around, we were playing Pokemon, like actually, I'm a leaf type, grass type, and there was a branch that had snapped off a tree, and that was the attack. Not me, that was 8-year-old. Anyway, fast forward, didn't sleep again on the Saturday night. Sunday I was cleaning in here, and I thought I was doing a really good job, but Ben was very worried about me because it was just me and Ben home. Like I said, my parents were away, completely unaware. I'd come home on the Friday from the doctors, and I believe I greeted Ben with, "Hi, I'm manic," and then just dropped my bags and went somewhere else, I think, to clean. But yeah, Sunday rolled round, and I had drunk like 6 cups of tea, and I left the mood chart on the table, and Ben came through and he was like, "What are you doing?" And it's sort of patchy after that, but I do remember that he said, "Where do you think you're on the scale?" And I said 7, and he was like, "You are at least a 9." And at this point I made him prove who he was. I didn't think he was actually Ben, and I made Heather prove who she was. This is sort of where the psychosis comes in. I made Heather prove who she was because I said that I thought she was an alien. I thought everyone was an imposter. No one was actually real. And Heather specifically, I said she had to prove herself by knowing what I was thinking. Now logically, if Heather was a normal human being and normal Heather, she wouldn't be able to know what I was thinking. So that is like, that sets the base for how irrational this was. But I believed it. And Ben was so worried that he rang my parents and said, "You need to come home." And I remember shouting on the phone to them whilst I was cleaning the kitchen windows. And to be fair, you can still tell now the ones that I cleaned and the ones that I didn't. But yeah, I remember I thought it was very weird when my parents got home, they didn't shout at me. And if they had come home from a weekend before when I was about 17, and they'd come home and my parents said, "How are you?" And I said that I'd self-harmed and I was feeling in a very, very bad place. And my dad took me to A&E, and they were cross with me. Like, I know that they weren't cross with me, they were cross at the situation, and I think they were scared, and that's why they acted like that. But in my head they were cross. So I was thinking to myself, why aren't they cross at me? They've come home early from a weekend away, 2 days early, why are they not cross at me? They must be aliens. And Dad accidentally reinforced that. He wasn't looking at me, and I asked him if he was actually my dad. He was looking at his phone, and I think he thought asking a silly question, get a silly answer, so he was like, "No." I said, "You an alien?" He said, "Yes." And I said, "Where are my parents?" And he said, "Dead." And I said, "Where?" And he said, "Chop them up for space fuel." So I started like sobbing, and my mum came in like, "What did you do?" And Ben came in and explained to them. He said, like, he told me afterwards that he'd explained to them that, "Oh, hi Charlie," that I'd made him prove who he was and they need to prove who they were, and I think Ben calmed me down then. And then Monday, I didn't sleep again on Sunday, I would not sit still, I went out for the day. We had called crisis team several times, my parents called, we called overnight, about midnight. We called it 10 o'clock and midnight on Sunday, and both times it went through to voicemail, so he left a message saying you need to call us back, and they never did. So we'd run crisis, we were on the duty worker on the Monday morning, and this is really blotchy. So if I'm like, wait, no, it's because people have told me this. Crisis team said they wouldn't talk to me because it was in working hours, and the duty team said they wouldn't talk to me because it was a crisis. So that's where I was stuck. And I went out to a support group. It's the first session of this support group that I then didn't go back to because I was in hospital. So I gone out, and I remember if you know anyone with autism or sometimes OCD, sort of other learning difficulties, or even bipolar, you may recognise this, or this, or this, or any sort of action of this, and it is called stimming. It stands for self-stimulation. It is commonly seen in people with autism when they are anxious, excited, happy, worried. It's just like a physical expression of emotion. I was doing that non-stop, and yeah, drumming my hands on my legs and like anything. I wouldn't sit still. I remember I went to the support group and I was like, this is the first time that I've sat still in like 3 weeks. And everyone was like, "Oh wow," and I was like, "No, it's not wow." But I do remember before I'd gone out, I think it was the community mental health team, which is my team at the time, they had said, regardless of who it is, we will call you back before the office closes at 5. And they had my dad's mobile number, they had my mum's mobile number, which she kept on, and she normally doesn't keep it on. they had my mobile number and they had the home phone. And come 5:30, none of us had a call from anyone at all. And my parents were finding it really hard to cope. And again, very, very blotchy. I do remember someone had rung the crisis team, and I think they'd said, oh, at this point I thought that diazepam was poison as well. I was refusing to take that at this point. That was the only thing they'd given me to calm down, and Zopiplane to help me sleep, which I don't mind. So I was refusing to take the diazepam because I thought that the CMHT wanted to kill me. And if you look at how they were treating me, maybe they were, because they were doing a pretty good job. Had I been depressed, this could have been a whole different story. Someone had phoned, they wanted to speak to me. I spoke to them, I was very angry, and I remember the man told me to calm down, and I said, I'm not fucking calming down, and I threw the phone. And then what my dad has told me since is he said that the person on the phone was just saying she needs to take a diazepam and calm down. She needs to take a diazepam and calm down. And Dad said, no, I'm taking to her A&E. And he said, that's not what I recommend. And Dad said, I don't care what you recommend. I went to A&E. And then the one thing I remember from A&E is at some point here I had begun to believe that I could fly, and that God had given me the ability to fly, and I was going to fly to heaven with Josh's bones and make him alive again, then bring him back down. And I remember that I had wanted fresh air, I think, so we're outside, and outside KMC there is a few flagpoles. There are a few flagpoles, and there's one with the EU flag on it, and I remember pointing at it and saying that needs to come down, because it was just after the referendum. And then I don't remember much after that. I was taken to the 136 at Nottingham's Highbury Hospital, which is a mental health hospital for adults. The 136 unit is actually a police sectioning suite, where you can be held on a police section 136 for 136 hours. I was not on a section, I was not on a police section, but that was the only room that they had available, and they needed to admit me, so I was there for a few days. And that was how I was admitted, and that was, the 136 was just like literally stereotypical 4 white walls with a sort of bed block which is fixed to the floor, and a table which is fixed to the floor, and then 4 cubes as chairs which are also fixed to the floor, and a camera and an ensuite. It was a toilet. The toilet has no fixtures at all. It's just a block there. I might have photos from when I was at my actual hospital when I got moved, but they'll come in due time. Now, in a shower, and the bathroom, ensuite, whatever the hell you want to call it, has like a block missing out of the door, so that in case they need to know where you are or talk to you, whatever. Quite intrusive, but that is the story of how I was admitted. And I was then in hospital until the first week of October, so you will be getting other stories from my time in hospital throughout the next 13 weeks. But yeah, that's that for now. Okay, so it's mine. So, that was my friend's dog. He's got 2 dogs. The Chihuahua's Lola. You stop staring at the camera.
I'm having a selfie.
No, you're not having a selfie. It's recording. You look funny. Just. No, you don't need to look like lonely gay.
You don't have me.
No, just talk to me like a normal human being.
Alright.
So, who's Dickie?
Your friend.
Our friend. Family friend.
Family friend. Dickie.
And he's got 2 dogs. Lola, Chihuahua.
Joshua's best friend.
And a puppy. Yes, Josh's best friend. And I went to see the dogs. They were the dogs. And this is my classic kooky mama. And both of our hairs don't look great because we've been watching TV.
Yeah.
I went to see Baby Driver, which was great, 100% recommend, and we've just been watching it in the dark, which is also really good. It's good.
But it's not set in Derbyshire.
It's set in Derbyshire, it's not filmed in Derbyshire.
Not in Derbyshire.
She tried.
It's not in Derbyshire.
Would you recommend?
Of course it was Duffield. Would I recommend what?
Would you recommend In the Dark to anyone watching?
Excellent.
My whole 3 constant viewers. Really I love you guys. I've got no idea who you are. You can comment who you are. I don't know who you are. YouTube doesn't tell me that. When's it on? What channel is it on?
Tuesday nights, BBC One. That was the first of 4 parts.
TiVo.
Yeah.
Because we forget when things are on.
Yeah.
And
worth catching if you like a thriller.
My random thought, okay, is kind of like when a tree falls in the woods, no one hears it. Our cat Molly, how loud is she when she has a drink?
Louder than the cat has any right to be.
Now, she doesn't make us. We don't hear her overnight. Does she make a sound overnight?
No. No sound.
But how do we know? Because we'd not be awake.
Oh, I don't think she does.
Does she make it when she's out? Who knows? Anyway.